It truly is hard to comprehend that we are finally here, the point that this YouTube channel has led me to and what you all supporting me has led me to. The next chapter of my channel is finally here. So it's pretty hard to believe, but we are heading up to the Chevrolet dealership to pick up the 2020 Corvette C8 that I ordered almost a year ago. It is finally there, and today is shaped up to be completely different than what I was expecting. So events have moved a lot quicker. Just a week and a half ago, I was sitting there with no built car, wondering when in the world I would get my car, thinking this is going to be forever. My original build date was 3/23, and so I was sitting there thinking, with the delay and everything, when is my car going to be built? Sure enough, I got an email at the end of last week from the guy I ordered it from the Chevrolet dealership saying that my car had been built. I had a VIN. So exciting. However, he had several different cars that had been built earlier in June, like 3 weeks prior, that had not been transported to the dealership. And so he thought it could be a long time before I actually got the car. Well, sure enough, yesterday he emails me and says, hey, the Transit has already been dispatched. It's heading to our location. It'll be here in 2 days. I'm going on vacation, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much he was like, you can either pick it up when I get back, or if you really want to pick it up, you can pick it up while I'm gone. He was thinking like July the 3rd. Well, sure enough, I asked if today, while he's still in town, I like dealing with him, he's a really nice guy, if we could set up all of the paperwork and then I could come pick it up, everything's done, talk with him over everything before he leaves on his vacation. Well, sure enough, I went there this morning, my wife and I went to go sign all of the paperwork for the car, was getting it all done, and my car showed up. I could not believe it. He mentioned that he thought maybe it could show up at the end of the day. He wasn't sure exactly. He wasn't really following it, but he thought it could be there. Sure enough, I'm sitting there and it shows up. They unload it and I got to see it, and you're gonna get to see some video from that. But this experience has been incredible, and sure enough, he bumped my car to the front because he knew how bad I wanted it. I wasn't gonna still be able to pick it up for the next day or so, but he was awesome. He bumped it up, they're inspecting it, and we are on our way to pick it up this evening. And guys, it looks so incredible. You know, buying this car without even seeing it in person, then seeing it in person, but not in the color or the options I chose, it was a tough decision, and I spent, I'm spending a lot of money on this car. So that was a big gamble, and it paid off. This car looks incredible. So right now we're driving up there. We're about 20 minutes away, and essentially we should be able to take delivery. We have a few things he wants to go over, and then he's gonna do a longer assessment once he gets back from break. But I know a lot about this car. Hopefully he can teach me some things when we get back, but all we have is the break-in period, so I'm gonna try to do a fairly quick break-in, and you all, tons and tons of content. I know I've been away from the scenes for a while, but there is so much content that I've kind of built up that is gonna be happening in the next couple of weeks. Some really cool things we're gonna be adding to the car, and honestly, I wanna hear from you all. What do you guys wanna see with this car? This car is as much yours as it is mine. I mean, I bought this car based off my growing, YouTube family, all of you guys watching my videos. So let me know what you all think, what you want to see with the car, and we will go from there. There it is. Waiting for me. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. We are in the C8. The car is here, and I just had a quick rundown. I am at a loss for words sitting in this car. I mean, it's been a long time coming, over a year, and this car is just, I haven't even driven this car and I'm already blown away with what this car has to offer. So we are gonna try to get up on the highway and get home so we can kind of look around, mess with the car, because this car has so many things. I could probably spend like 3 hours here, and they're gonna close this gate. So I need to get out of their hair and get all this done, but very exciting. And so here we are. This is my 2020 Corvette C8. And it's still hard to believe. I just picked it up yesterday, and with the deposit being put down almost a year ago, it seems like it's been a long time in the making. But as you all that have been following my channel know, I've been following this car for a very long time. I've been making videos over it long before anybody at GM Chevrolet would even acknowledge the car existed. But we've known, again, for quite some time. So to have it here in front of me, it's a bit surreal, but I want to give you a generalized idea of how I feel about the car. I only have 100 miles. I still have 400 miles to go through my break-in. So again, I don't have the full power, the full torque. I'm just kind of babying it, still trying to get that everything, nicely broken in for, good long-term use. But so far, very, very impressed. I had very high expectations for this vehicle. As you can see in my past videos, I really built this car up in my mind. And to be honest, almost every level it has exceeded that expectation. So I'm gonna pull out my options list, let you know exactly what this car has, how much I paid for it, and we'll go a little bit down kind of that road and give you an idea of what my thoughts are overall. So as I mentioned, my initial impressions were great. I really am impressed with almost every aspect of the car. But first, color. Now, I had never seen this color in person. I only got to see the blue color, not the rapid blue, the other blue color, the deeper blue that they offer when I did get to go see it at the unveiling at our local Chevrolet dealership. And the car looked great in person. The rear I know is kind of an area where a lot of people are partial to. I think it looks better in person. I've said that for a long time. Once you see the car in person, it just looks better. The front is incredible, even the sides. The back, again, I think in person it's just much, much better. But I was worried about the color. For so long, I was convinced I was gonna go with Sebring Orange tint coat, and I decided at the last minute to stick with the Torch Red, and I am so, so happy. When this car came off of the trailer, there was a Sebring Orange Vet. It didn't have as much on this, it didn't have the Z51, it didn't have the black tires, but even in person, the color didn't pop. Now, maybe someone in the comments can tell me, but it did not look like the same orange, even though they say it is the same orange as you see on like a ZR1. And maybe it's all the other aesthetic options on the ZR1 that just makes it look more aggressive, the orange pop more. But in person, it really looked more flat when I saw it. And so this red looked so good. And having bought this car sight unseen, never seeing the red, that was a big deal for me. And so when it came off the trailer, I was so happy. Everybody at the dealership that, everybody was very interested in all the cars coming off. They were all impressed with this red. I think they really liked it. And then the gray looked really, really good in person as well. But orange, it just didn't do it for me. I know some people will love that color, and I still think you can make it look great in person, but I'm so happy with the color combination that I went here with my car. So let's move on to the interior. Now, this is a huge point for the Corvette, maybe right under the fact that they went from front engine to mid engine. I mean, that's the biggest point of the car, it has to be. But the interior, the C7 was a step up from all the previous generations. They were really applauded for upping the game in interior, for being the Corvette. It's all about value for performance, but they really made it a nice place to be. This car, the next step, and I went as far as I really could go in options. I have a full 3LT. Everything's upgraded. I've got the carbon fiber interior package. This car even blew me away. Once I saw it 3LT, I've got all the Alcantara with the custom red stitching up here, leather everywhere, all the way down, bottom of the doors, everything is leather wrapped. This is about as nice as you can get. I did 2LT. One of the things I didn't do was I didn't do the Alcantara inserts, and the reason I did that is, and I chose not to do that, I should say, is because I've heard wear can be really, really heavy on Alcantara, especially like steering wheels and stuff. So I chose to kind of stay away from that because I want to put a lot of miles on this car, and I don't want to see that heavy wear even after just 20 or 30,000 miles. So my hope is this high grade Napa leather that I have should hold up very, very well over time. But honestly, the interior just blows me away. All of the technology in this car, and I'm gonna be making videos over the technology. There's tons of videos already out there, but if you're subscribed to my channel, I'm really gonna go in depth, answer your all's questions. If you do have any questions, again,
drop them in the comments below. I'm going to be trying to answer them in depth with all of my different videos I'm putting out on my Corvette, the ownership experience and whatnot. But again, blown away. It's even better in here than I thought. I forget how wrapped you are. Again, the only time I've sat in a vehicle that's the C8 was back when we saw it at a huge unveiling at our Chevrolet dealership, and it was so crowded there. You only got a few minutes with the car. And again, it was a used car. It already kind of had some wear and tear. This car's mine, it's brand new, and I get to see it in its kind of full glory, and it's amazing. It really is crazy what they're able to do nowadays with the Corvette lineup. And so I love how my car looks and feels on the interior. So finally, let's talk about what all my Corvette is comprised of, the different options, what I chose. Now, I already talked about the 3LT, but what else options did I choose? This, of course, and you can probably tell from the spoiler, is a Z51. I chose not to go with the high wing for a few different reasons. If I want to change it, I know there's going to be some incredible aftermarket, and I just wasn't completely sold on it, especially at the price. This spoiler has really grown on me over time. I really seen it in person, this carbon flash. It looks way better than I guess I remember, and I could be partial. I love the car, everything about it. But this Z51 spoiler looks a lot better. So I obviously have the Z51 package. My 3LT that I was saying is $11,950. That's over the $60,000 base price. The Z51, $5,000. That gives me my performance exhaust, which I can tell is a noticeable difference, especially as you're kind of going through the modes. I'll talk about that, but don't worry, as much as I love this performance exhaust, it's going bye-bye. We have a brand new exhaust that's gonna be coming very soon. That will be a video, and this thing is gonna sound so much better. I'm in the works with a very well-known exhaust company, so you're gonna be wanting to see that video when it comes out. The next thing I have, magnetic ride control. Now, I talked about this a long time in my previous videos, months and months ago. If you're ordering this car with Z51, you have to do mag ride. I know it's a $1,895 option, but if you're going Z51, that opens that checkbox for being able to do mag ride. It is night and day. It is incredible, the difference from tour all the way to track, being able to change how soft or harsh that ride is, especially if you're gonna track the car. It makes a world of difference. In addition to that, you saw that I have the interior carbon fiber trim package. That's $1,500. I did do the front lift. Now, I don't know if everybody needs this, but when I owned my C6, I found for the first time how low these cars really are. For anybody that has driven Corvettes or exotics in general, you already are aware of this and you're probably gonna order the front lift. The reason I bring this up, and it's very important, is the fact that people that have never driven a car, say this is your first performance car, you have to get used to how low this front of the vehicle is, and you can scrape it easily, even just getting in and out of driveways depending on the slope. So the front lift gives you a full extra 2 inches night and day, and this lift is a very nice system. There's a button for it, but each time you press it, you have on your heads-up display a little button that you can press that check marks. It will save 1,000 different locations. Most of you are already aware of that, but when I come home, it automatically lifts up so I don't have to worry about scraping on the driveway or hitting the button. It's a very nice feature, and that comes in at $1,495. And I know that seems a little pricey, but actually if you look at the lift systems on higher end exotics, you know, the Huracans and the Ferraris, much more expensive. So actually not a bad price. Probably my one questionable decision was paying $995 for my carbon flash painted aluminum wheels. I didn't want the aluminum, just typical kind of grayish color wheel when it came in. It just was gonna look odd, and I thought it would take away from my enjoyment. And the reason I paid the $995 is because this car with the Z51 comes with summer only tires. I'm gonna be daily in this car for the most part year round, which means I have to get a second set of tires. These wheels will go on my all season tires for the winter, and I will be getting upgraded summer wheels that go on my summer tires. So I'm gonna actually have 2 sets of wheels. That's where these wheels will come into handy. It may not look quite as good over the winter, but that's okay. They'll last a lot longer. They'll do better with the grime and all of the salt, and then I'll have my summer wheels in addition to that. Moving on from there, $995 I paid for my carbon fiber engine appearance package. That's a hit or miss. I decided to do it for $1,000. I like the carbon. I actually don't mind the look of the rear engine bay without the carbon package. Like, it looks industrial, it still looks really, really nice. I like carbon. You know, it's kind of one of those things that I chose to ante up for the $1,000. You just get 2 pieces of carbon and your lighting system. It's nothing extravagant, but again, that's probably a hit or miss option that you can choose to yourself. I did pay $595, which is crazy, but $600 to have my bright red painted brake calipers. It looks great though, well worth it for $600. It's crazy that that's how much it is, but that's what you're gonna pay to have that done. $395, well worth it, but I got torch red seat belts. That breaks up my interior colors. As you can see, my interior was black with red stitching, so it's a little bit more muted than some of these like red interiors, but the red seat belts really add that pop in the interior. Absolutely love it. That was a must for me, and I think a lot of people will do that as well. And then $395 for the Adrenaline Red custom leather stitch. That's what I already talked about. I paid $100 for the carbon flash metallic painted outside mirrors. You can go carbon fiber on that true instead of the carbon flash, but since I have a lot of carbon flash, I was okay with it. If I would have gone the full, you know, aero package on the bottom with carbon fiber, I might have thought about the different carbon on the mirror caps, but I can always do that later. Those are aftermarket items that I can always get from a third-party dealer, or I can still have Chevrolet do it if I so choose. And that is it. So my total options were $25,675. So pretty much almost another third in addition to this vehicle, because guys, you got to understand, this vehicle is incredible value at $60,000. I'm going to talk about that in another video. We'll go more in depth. As you add options, in my opinion, it gets more of what you want, but your value does diminish a little bit. Some of these options, what you pay for them and what you get in return, to me, this is not as good a value actually as a $60,000 Corvette, because that car's almost as fast. It may not have Z51 mag ride, but it's still an incredible value what you get. I paid total $85,670, and actually that's not true. I bought some other things on top of that. So my total actually ended up being closer to $90, but this car MSRP is $85,670. So again, that another $26,750 over sticker. And I did pay MSRP. I didn't have to pay anything over, so I really appreciate my dealer working with me on that. But that, everyone, is my 2020 C8 Corvette. And I can't reiterate how much I'm in love with this car, and I cannot wait to start making content for all of you. Again, any questions, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video or are just excited that this car is finally here, that I get to share it with all of you, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. To all of my existing subscribers, thank you so much. Again, long time coming, but I'm gonna be getting the ball rolling, lots and lots of videos to come. So again, thank you all so much. You all take care, and I'll see you next video.